we go. All righty. Well, let me tell you this. The beauty of live, doing these shows live, I learn as I go. I do apologize. I pressed the wrong button. So two things come out of it. One, I learn, and two, I never make the same mistake twice. So I pressed some button, and the next thing I know, it was on and off again. So anyway, um, thank you so much for joining us on Live with Lloyd. I am your host, astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn. I decided to do this day, today's show totally different, and you'll see. First of all, for all the moms and potential moms and moms or whatever, I hope you all had a wonderful, happy Mother's Day yesterday. Our turn is next month. Okay. I think it's on the 16th. I'm not sure. I haven't looked that up yet. But anyway, I have new sponsors. I'd like to introduce him to you. The first sponsor is Dr. Yana Woodhouse. As you know, she's been a guest on my show several times. Um, and she's going to be back on somewhere around in June, but always talking about how money works. It is very important, especially with the cost of living, food, rent, everything. Car insurance has gone up. I understand everybody has gone up. So this couldn't be a better time than to have her sponsor the show. And if you click on her QR code, it'll tell you her schedules. In fact, this is the schedule right here of how money works. You can see it on May 15th, this Wednesday, then the 22nd, the 29th, and June the 5th. That is up for the next 4 weeks of how money works. And she learns about the 5 benefits that you need to know. So this is her. My second sponsor is intellectualpower.net. This is a product that Brother Riza Islam has put out. Click on that barcode. And in fact, when you order the product, if you type in the word numbers, you get a 10% discount. So I want to thank them very much. I have taken the supplements, and it has been, I got to be honest, a very interesting experience. And he did not pay me a dime to say this, but and whatever's in it. Also, I have the strangest dreams, and he made mention of that too. So he wasn't kidding. But want to let you know that his products is free of heavy metals, gluten, wheats, dairy, soy, yeast, sugar, artificial flavors, sweeteners, fillers, preservatives, added colors, and or animal byproducts such as gluten, cholesterol, or collagen. And it is radiation free. So please, if you take a screenshot, then later on use your phone to click on the QR code to find out what's going on with that. I also want to thank Nicholas Brooklyn, who is celebrating 50 years in business. That is one of the best bookstores I know. Well, it's more than a bookstore. It's kind of an all-around purpose. So you got to go there to see it for yourself. That's at 1396 Fulton Street in Brooklyn. Also, Miss Kimberly, who's been sponsoring the show the last couple of months. And today her show was about higher vibrations, and just very interesting. So I listen to it religiously. I also sponsor her show. So I must thank her for sponsoring mine as well. And saving the best for last. Well, all of it is Jackie Levine, who's got a class coming up on the 18th. Okay. So there you go at the bottom left, bottom right, excuse me, jazzaphrodite.com. Go there, see it for yourself. So these are the sponsors I want to thank. And so before we get started, I want you to like, share, and subscribe. All right. I will never DM you for money. Evidently, some people are trying to imitate me and asking you for money. I don't roll like that. I really don't. So if you see anybody live with Lloyd, and or they'll say numbers in you, right? Because that's my YouTube channel, numbers in you. Anything past that is a fake. They had a numbers in you underscore, numbers in you this, that, numbers in you with a number after it. And especially asking for money. If you listen to my show on a regular basis, believe me, it's not me. But anyway, it is May 13th, Stevie Wonder's birthday. I've been hearing his songs in Harlem walking around today. The sun is in Taurus, the moon is in Leo. It's a 4 universal month, a 6 universal week, an 8 universal day. Capricorns, Aquarians, and Libras are those born on the 8th, 17th, or 26th of the month. Well, you will be the beneficiaries of this day. Now, what I'm going to do is this. I normally at the end, I'm rushing through what's happening or whatever the case is. So I decided to put that up front only for today because I wanted to leave it open for questions that you want to ask me. People have asked questions. I want to make sure I'm not just talking about my birthday is so-and-so and my man's birthday is so-and-so. I'm not talking about that. Some of you may ask how I get this technique or how that is done or how that is arrived. So I'm going to give you a chance to put all that information in. But before I do, I want to let you know that this Wednesday's guest is going to be Lo. She is an entrepreneur. So she's going to be on talking about some of the things that she does as a young entrepreneur this Wednesday. Next Monday, a week from today, we're going to have Nina Diamond, although her name is spelled much differently now than it was then. It's Needa. What a difference a letter makes, okay? But she will be on next Monday. My newsletter is available. It is free. All you got to do is go to Linktree, Numbers in You, and you can sign on and get it. Just leave your name. You can leave your birthday. That's optional. But you got to leave your email so we can send it to you free each and every month. Know for those who may be new to this, I do not sell my mailing list. I just don't do that. Now, I'm promoting something, which is a class that I'm going to be teaching in July for certification of how to do this for a living. Yes, I do that. But over and above that, no, it is all free. Now, it's interesting. I did develop a new concept over the last 2 months with this, which is I decided to put it on YouTube, and it's in coordination with Miss Kimberly and myself, and we do this. So if you go to YouTube and click in that address or Miss Kimberly, you'll find it. And when you get there, what happens is you will see that at the bottom of the description, all of the signs are just put there. What it is the way I say it and the way I have to write it for the newsletter is two different things. Other than that, if I do it word for word, it'll be literally about 5 or 6 pages. So you can't do that. All right. So that's what I do. Now, for those that have asked me about this is the certification course. Notice I'm putting all this out the way first so I can focus on you primarily. All right. But for this going to be Numbers You and Beyond workshop, learning the art of numerology as a career. Yes, you can do this. No, you don't even need a GED, but you need to be persistent, consistent, and have faith in what you're doing. I got to tell you this, you'll never run out of business because you'll never run out of people unless they blow this planet, as they say, the kingdom come. So over and above that, no matter where you go on this planet, there's always some walking human species, no matter what the language they got now, apps, language apps, all you got to do is speak in it, your language, talk to them in their language, and they'll give it back to you. So it is universal, and I will be teaching you this course. It's going to start July the 16th this summer. And for those of you who be interested, this is where you go to, you write to a star8 LLC at gmail.com, a star8 at gmail.com to just express an interest. We'll send you an application that'll go out to you. And for those who have the Star8 mobile app, I need to thank you. It's really growing. The iOS, for some reason, though, those are iPhone users, I'm included. There's been a glitch. Evidently, they're changing their certification or something, they told me. So that is now being straight. So it's back up to normal. So this is where you go. Just download the Star8, ASTAR8.com. Android users don't seem to have a problem. iPhone users, it has been challenging, and I've been with the developers and everything like that. So I'm taking the full weight. Now, if you have a problem, download it on your platform. Just simply go to a star8.com and load it on from there. And if you have any questions or any glitches with it, just write to a star8 LLC at gmail.com, and I will pass it on to my developer. But we're working very, very hard to make sure this is straight. I think it's about a good 85 to 90% straight. It's not the way I want it yet, but based upon the way it was over the last couple of weeks, it was kind of scary. So for those, I do apologize. Listen, what can we do now? Let me tell you this. I'm going to go to the website. One of the things, to the comments, one of the things there's always a special person that knows how to make me feel good every day, and that's Melanated Brown. I know you said, Lloyd, you always show her every week. No, I don't. But, it's always such an inspiration. And I got to also thank my moderator, Jazz Aphrodite, that as, I'm very, very lucky between Jazz Aphrodite and Empress Row. I don't know who to pick. They're just so beautiful, but they have made it life easier. And please get the thumbs up. All right. Please get the thumbs up. Carrie said no sound. I hope it is. I hope all of you can listen. I'm not getting any text, which means everything should be working back to normal. What I want to do is I will get to the birthdays, but what I want to do is get to a question like, for example, this May is a 4 universal month. How did I do that? In order to get the month, you need to know what the universal year is. So what happens is if you take 2024, that adds across to 8. Okay. So that's the universal year. And that's why the word universal implies that every single living, walking, breathing species on this planet, from the ant to the human, is all under the influence of the 8 this year. So then you break it down to the month. Well, so if I add 8, the personal year, to the 5th calendar month, which represents May, that's 13, and 1 plus 3 is 4. That's how I got that. See? And so that means that next month, June, will be a 5 because 8 added to the 6th calendar month equals 14, and 1 plus 4 is 5. Now, how did I get today? I knew you were going to ask me that question, and it's very simple. Once I know the personal month, the universal month, I add the universal month, which is a 4, to the 13th day today, and 4 plus 4 is 8. So therefore, for May, it is a 4 universal month for this day, the 13th, it is an 8 universal day. And then I have weeks and stuff like that. All this I'll teach you and stuff. So these are all the kind of questions I have. Also, please, there are some who will make donations or whatever they call those things that y'all do, which I appreciate very much. And sometimes I won't see them until I'm really kind of at the end of the show, where I can really look through all of them, because I don't see it as you do, obviously. And so I don't want anybody to feel that if they made a donation and I didn't read them, that was deliberate. I don't. So what my goal is, if you wish to make a donation, only do it after I call you. So that way we both on an even playing field. Okay, Stray didn't get to me. He ain't getting no donation or whatever y'all do, love offering or whatever. And that's not what I'm looking for anyway. My goal when I started with this is to raise people's consciousness, raise your awareness, to tell you how exciting this amazing ancient African science is. It is African in its origin. If people may say, why, Lloyd? Well, if you look at Pythagoras and his history, where did he learn numerology? Where did he wind up teaching numerology, and numerology spread under his name? Well, he went into the land of Egypt to learn it. And if one asks on just let's use some logic up in here. So if one uses the logical question on which continent is Egypt, it's on the African continent. So that's why I make that statement. And I don't take anything from anybody else, but I'm not going to take anything away from our contribution to this planet Earth. And this is very important that you understand. So for those of you who have those kind of issues, you're going to have to deal with that. That's not my problem. History and the facts is the fact of the matter. And so it's with that I want people to know. And I don't always put emphasis, but I want to let you know that if that's where Pythagoras learned it, and that's where he went to learn it, that's where all of them did. Herodotus, Thucydides, Plato, all of them went to Egypt and came back the father of this, the father of that, the father of medicine, whatever the case is. So obviously, Africa is the motherland of civilization. Okay, so that, anyway, enough of that. But I'm just saying, folks, so for those of you who want to get bent out of shape, I ain't got nothing to do with that. The history Y'all got to argue with history. Okay. So anyway, let me see. Okay, I'm gonna start back, uh, and I want to thank everybody. Okay. Now this is Maureen. Now I am going to be looking for questions. So if you got a question about how did you do this and how did you do that, that's why I says, well, let me do something a little different. Normally I try to come with a topic or subject matter because I've got plenty that I'm going to be doing, especially since this is a presidential election. It's going to be interesting. But in the case of Maureen Bellinger, um, her birthday is May 18th of 1948. Now, here's what I do when I look at a birthday. Just as I look at the number of letters that are repeated in the name, I look at the number of letters that are repeated, the number of numbers that are repeated in the birthday, excuse me. So I already, so she's got three even numbers, she's got two odd numbers, okay? This is how I kind of look at these things too. And so actually she is a Taurus, her birthday is coming up on Saturday, I do believe. So we'll be first wish you happy birthday, Maureen. And her numbers are the 9, because she's born on the 18th. 1 plus 8 is 9. And then her next number is 6, because she is a Taurus, and Taurus is ruled by Venus, and that rules the number 6. That's how I get the second number, you see. And then she is born in the year of 1948. So that tells me that was a master number year. In fact, if I flip 19, if I flipped her year of birth, 48 around to 84, I'm willing to bet you she will tell you that was a very significant year. This is called a palindrome technique, where the last two numbers of the year you were born, if flipped, will tell me something that happened in that way. I've gave a couple of illustrations before, but I won't get into that now. But what happens is, so her numbers are 9, 6, and 3. What does that mean? See, these are what, when I discussed a couple of weeks ago about angel numbers, well, they got angel numbers in the book as defined, but the angel numbers actually in your birthday. Every single one of you have an angel number, as I call it. It's a guardian angel number to help you figure out what are the best states to select for interviews, taking tests, making major moves, signing contracts, going into the hospital for procedures. There are timing. This is why everybody's days are not the same. This is why everybody don't take the same medication. Because if they took the same medication, the pharmaceutical business, we are out of business. But because we are such a makeup, a mosaic of different energies, numerically speaking, that this is how it works. And so I can tell her best days are always on a Tuesday. That rules the number 9. A Friday. That rules the number 6. And a Thursday. That rules the number 3. Because each number assigned from 1 to 9 is assigned a day in the week. And then it also tells about her date. So in essence, since her birthday is coming up, it tells me she's in a 4 personal week, a 4 personal year this year. And what I did was, instead of taking the year 1948, I mentally substituted and put into the year 2024. So thus my mind says 5/18/2024. That adds up to, I don't know what it adds up to, a 22, but I know it's a 4 for sure. So that means that this is a month, my dear, or a year, I should say, where you got to put in the work, got to put in the effort. So once I know she's in a 4 personal year, I then add it to the month I want to know about. So 4 added to the 5th position calendar of the year, her birthday, which is May, is a 9. So she's in a 9 personal year. So that means a couple of things. That means either a manifestation of things that she wants to make happen, also a termination of some things she's outgrown and need to let go. And it also indicates long distance trips. But it does tell me this, Maureen, looking at your birthday, you definitely attract younger men, because I see all those 3s and 5s running through your name, and those govern the younger ones. In fact, you got 1, 2, I ain't trying to get in your business, but you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 numbers. And then you got 1, 2, 3 numbers. So out of the 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, about 14 letters in your name, about over half of them falls into youthful categories. So either you don't look your age, act your age, feel your age. And thus this may have explained why, if you've attracted younger men, my dear, there's no shame in your game. Okay. That's very important. And your birthday also tells me you probably attracted a man in uniform, or maybe married a man in uniform, like the military, law enforcement, construction, stuff like that. But anyway, your lucky numbers are the 9, the 6, and the 5. Excuse me, 9, 6, and 3. And I can tell you this: when you say tell you something about yourself, in essence, you don't take no prisoners, you don't take no wooden nickels, you don't play. Okay, so that's it. Thanks for letting me do that, Maureen. So let's see. Uh, Again, this is Stephen and Carol Williams out of Chicago. They have been with me. Those are my ride or die people. Okay, they've been with me from Jump Street, Melanated 8 from Jump Street, and my goal with this program is not so much to get donations. If so, that's cool. I'll take it in the spirit for which is given me, but that is not my purpose. And don't think I don't need some resources too, but that is not my purpose. And I think if I started this show for the exclusive purpose of trying to get your money, it would have probably fell flat on its face, because normally when I do something in a way like that, it doesn't work out for me. Okay. Okay, let's see. This is Anthony McInnes. Um, they are born on August the 17th. They're born on one of the days of one of my favorite heroes, which is Marcus Messiah Garvey, born in St. Anne's Bay, Jamaica. And this tells me you're old. And if you look at the numbers, he's got 8s, he's got 9s. Okay, he's born on 8. So Anthony, and see, I don't know whether they call you Tony, because if they call you Anthony under the Chaldean system, it's a 1, which means sometimes some contradictions and stuff like that. I suspect, though, Anthony, they call you Tony. That's significant because the name Tony under the Chaldean system adds to 17, and 1 plus 7 is 8, and you're born on the 17th. So I know you like older women, or older women have taught you a thing or two. You know what I'm saying? So at any rate, so if you do feel comfortable hanging around the older guys coming up, or dating an older woman, or being introduced to Sex 101 as a kid with an older woman, that would not surprise you. You've always been an old soul. Now, this particular year that you're in is a 6 personal year. That simply means this is a year to make adjustments. This is a year to fall in love, fall out of love. And this is a year to go back to school. This is a year that affects your health and your appearance, and all depending on how you do things. And since H tend to be misdiagnosed a lot, that means you got to be very mindful of your dietary laws. Try to have meatless meals at least twice a week, which is on a Wednesday and a Sunday. Those would be the days I would have you abstain. Why you want to know that? Because Wednesday is your stress day as well as Sunday. And therefore, since 8 rules stoppage of the intestines or constipation and meats is known to take a long time to go through the system, okay, in one way and out the other, then maybe that will help you in your digestive system. And 8s tend to be misdiagnosed too. But your lucky numbers, sir, or your angel numbers are always the 8, the 1, and the 4. All righty. Okay. So let's see who we got here. And also don't forget, if you got a question about how do you do this or that, I ain't gonna tell you all my secrets. I'm gonna tell you a whole lot of them, because this is what I want to teach you. Okay, this is person here is now this is interesting. B Diamond 369. Her birthday is January the 20th of 86. She's a Capricorn, and her partner is July the 11th of 78. Okay, now here's the thing that's very interesting. You would have what you call B Diamond opposition signs. Okay, now you know how they have this saying opposite attracts. That means there'll be things y'all love about each other and adore about each other, and then at some point there'll be things y'all can't stand about each other. Like, honey, why don't you take your socks out the middle of the floor? How many times I tell you this, that, and the other? And you have a whole different energy to that. But here is the common glue between you two. Okay, not only does the zodiac sign start with the letter C, Capricorn and Cancer. You were born on the 20th, 2 plus 0 is 2. He's born on the 11th, 1 plus 1 is 2, and 2 rules the sign of Cancer. So this would be an exception to the rule, because astrologically, the opposition sign to Cancer is Capricorn. The opposition sign to Capricorn is Cancer. So, for example, when Mike Tyson first lost his fight, people couldn't even go to the bathroom. That's how quick he was knocking out dudes, okay? But when he lost his fight, it was in the sign of Capricorn. I would have never had him do his fight in his opposition period. It simply means when you're at your lowest. You know how they talk about the bell curve? So in that way, yes, there'll be things you're like, and yes, there'll be things that are kind of like a little different too. All right. But your numbers are the 2, 7, and 8. His numbers are the 2, 7, and 6. Now, 6 is an H-kid long. So this numerically might be an exception to the rule. All righty. Okay, I'm glad. I hope that helped you. All righty. So here's the thing too. Mondays and Fridays and Saturdays are your best days, B Diamond, and Mondays and Fridays are his best days. So what does that mean? That means if you're probably met on a Monday, met on a Friday, went out on a Monday or Friday, dated on a Monday or Friday, or whatever you did, there's none of my business on a Monday or Friday. Okay. And so what I'm saying is, so if you want to be on the same page, especially if you're off-centered, that's the day to resolve it. On a Monday, that is late Sunday night after 7 or 8 o'clock into Monday, and late after 7 or 8 o'clock Thursday night into Friday. That's how it works. Okay. Anyway, how do you sponsor my show? Well, what you do is this. All you got to do is go to a star8llc@gmail.com and say you wish to sponsor, and we'll give you the details. Hold on. Where did I put that at? Okay. Hold on 1 second. There you go. Right there. A star8llc@gmail.com, and that you wish to sponsor. I would be honored to have you sponsor the show too. It'll be real nice. Okay. Where am I? Let me get back to my comment sections. Okay. Let me see. Okay. So thank you so much. Mastering Healings at Home. That's interesting. Sound like you need to be a guest on the show too. Okay. Co-colors. That's my girl. Every week she's trying to make give the Stephen and Callan Williams some competition. She's tuning in every time too. And Jazz responded to her. Please listen, please get the likes up. I didn't come into this for the likes and whatnot. I figured if that was my objective, money was my objective, I would miss the point of my mission. All right. I understand it's important for algorithm purposes. So can you please accommodate a brother? All right. You don't have to give no money. All you got to do is just press the likes. There's this guy I used to watch that women didn't like a lot. And he wouldn't go, if his likes wasn't up to a certain number, he wasn't going on with the show. Okay. That was his attitude. Well, that's good. But he was out there a while. I've been going on 3 years this July. So I need to thank all of you, and especially Jackie Barrios that was the inspiration of me starting this in the first place. But please get the likes up again. It doesn't cost anything. And if people can make an effort to make a donation, and that means they're taking money out of their pocket or away from their resources or rent or food or whatever the case is, surely it don't. And then especially since a lot of us like to get in this, lend me, give me, can you spare, is it free? The likes are free. So just press the button and keep it moving, okay? So I don't have to hear from Jazz on Monday and Empress Rel on Wednesday, okay? All right, okay. This is very important. Register for a class right here. It's coming up this Saturday on the 18th. This is where you go to register for her class on cardology. She's already really superb on numerology. She's put out 2 numerology books, which we forecast on this show. And but her cardology is just as great as her. It's interesting. Her first one was about numerology and cardology mixed together, and how they both merge, and how there is a similarity between the two, and you'll find that out on Monday with Nina Diamond. Although we're going to talk about another book that she's put out too, that I have somewhere on my table here amongst all my stuff. But anyway, it's going to be interesting. So you see her on Monday. Okay. Now, what is the best advice for somebody's in a 16-7 year? Okay. In this case, I'd say 7 is always a number where you got to do a lot of soul searching. You got to ask the question, why you doing what you're doing, and why you dealing with the people you dealing, and what does all that mean? Now, 16 is a karmic number, which Jackie or Jazz Aphrodite eloquently explained in her books. It is a karmic number. Now, if you look at the weight deck in the tarot card, the weight deck anyway, because there are a lot of decks, Nordic deck and all that stuff. It's called the Shattered Citadel, or some call it the Lightning Struck Tower. And see, the beauty of these tarot cards is they speak to you in picture symbols. Okay. So when you go to an airport, you want to go to the bathroom, you'll see an outline of a woman. That means that's hers. You see an outline of a guy, that's his, to go to the bathroom and other things like that. Well, the struck tower, there was a picture symbol where the man is with a crown on his head being struck by a bolt of lightning out of the sky, knocks him off, and off falling off that with him is like one of his like main buddies holding his plans in his hands. It denotes danger and defeat of plans, disappointments in love and marriage, dangers from the natural forces. Okay. So, and when I say that, if this person is a water sign, that means they had to be careful of elements dealing with water. If they're a fire sign, that means you got to be careful dealing, because you didn't say what sign you were. So that means dealing with the element of fire. They got to be careful with fire. If it's air, that means tempest, storms, airplanes, things like that. If it's earth, that means things like car accidents, railroad accidents, and stuff like that. But the point is, it says the danger is very strong. So what it simply means is that in order to avoid it, you must be very righteous. You must be above board. You can't be BSing people. You can't be scheming and lying and blocking people's blessing. I was 16, man, because that's how strong that evil is. And the only way to offset it is you got to be right. You got to be righteous. You ain't got no being a priest, no monk, and all that stuff, man. I ain't talking about that. I'm just talking about just handle your business in a way that's ethical, honorable, respectful, and you will find that you will get what you want. But any other thing than that, and if this in a 16 year, you're gonna get your feelings hurt, okay, from a force higher than yourself. All righty. Also, it means you're gonna have strange dreams too, and it means you should pay close attention to what's going on, as things are likely, secrets are likely to be revealed. Okay. This is Taka Honey Love. May 20th, they are 3 of clubs trying to find their niche, their career path. All right. So what happens is, now I'm not strong on the clubs. That's where Jazz Aphrodite comes in. That's why you'll need to enroll up for a class this coming Saturday. She'll teach you all that. All right. But what happens is, or tune in Monday when you see Nina Diamond on the show. But what happens is you got a birthday coming up near the end of this month. So that means you're in what is called your 52-day critical cycle, which Jazz Aphrodite, I know y'all keep saying, why y'all bring that woman up? But if you look at her book, for all of you that want to know about your 52-day critical cycle from day one to day 365 days after your birthday, from birthday to birthday, all that's in the book. All you got to do is go down the list, the column, look up your birthday, and you can tell. She even puts the dates down for you. She saves you all that wear and tear. Trust me. Okay. So it simply means just be mindful. That's all. I wouldn't have surgery right now, especially if it's what is called elective surgery. Elective means you got a choice about it. Then, okay, you got to get in here like tomorrow. That's one thing. But if there's an elective or choice or anything, so it means just take it easy. So as a Gemini 2 person, your key numbers are the 2, the 7, and the 5 in that order, which means Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays are always your best days. Those are your angel numbers. They will guide you. So anytime you want to make a move or interview or take a test or go out on make something of consequence, hanging out, I ain't talking about that. Bowling, drinks, dinner with girls, all that stuff. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking when you got to make some decisions that affect your livelihood, your welfare, your well-being, things of that nature. Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays are your days to go to. And it also tells me very sensitive about your eating habits and dietary laws too. All right. Okay, here we go. This is Bonita Sutton. Bonita Sutton. How you doing, Bonita? Her birthday is 11/5, and her oldest son is 4/11, 2003, and we're always clashing. Well, that makes sense to me because, first of all, he's fire and you're water. So anytime you want to extinguish fire, what do you get? Water. And if not, the next thing you get is earth or dirt. All right. But I'm also looking at his numbers. I'm struck by the fact that you gave birth to him in the year 2003, which is a 5, and you're born on the 5th day of the month. You see? So this is how I like to teach my students, so they know how to not just look at the name, but also look at the pattern of the numbers too. And you have 3 ones in your name, so that means you're assertive. He has 2 ones in his name. And in fact, when you birthed him in 2005, you were in a 3 personal year at the time you birthed him, and you were in a 7 personal month and a 9 personal day. And your key numbers, by the way, are the 5, the 9, and the 6. Okay. How did I do that? Simple. I simply took November the 5th and added it to 2003. When I added that up, I says, okay, that's a 3 personal year you were in. So then I says, okay, well, what month were you in? So your 3 added to the 4th position month is April, which is a 7. That's how I did that. Then I says, okay, well, 4 plus 2 is what? 9, which is your number. So that's how I'm seeing it. Okay. Yeah, sometimes mothers, my mother told me one time when I was a kid, you think you smelling yourself. I ain't know what she was talking about because I was smelling good when I was going out that night. But all I'm saying is to be understanding. Yeah, and my mother told me, you will get your turn. She never lied when I had my kids. I got my turn. So you may have taken your mother through some drama too, Bonetta. Okay, when you were coming up, because there's a point in our development we will all think we know about this. I'm grown, I know this and that, and you know what I'm saying, and we know just enough to get ourselves in serious trouble. So let that be. Give him a little while, and you'll find that one day he'll come and see his ways. Now his numbers are the 2, 7, and 6, and he is in a 5 personal year, which matches your birth number. So he's ready to make a change. Then he's in a 5 May, which is, so that means 5 personal year added to 5 is a 1 personal month, which means he wants to do something on his own now. He wants to take the initiative. He thinks he's all of that, or as my mother used to say, smelling yourself. Okay, and so he has to be as true to himself as you, as true to yourself as you may have given your mom and dad. I know you didn't mean to, but we all get to a point where we thought we were grown. We all do. That is the process of life. But I think if you understand that and and work with it, you'll be wondering, is there a reason? Well, the only way I'm looking at is the common denominator, that you'll have 6, because his numbers are the 2, 7, and 6. Your numbers are the 5, 9, and 6. So therefore, May and October are the months that are best for you and him to be on the same page. And because each number rules a day, 6 rules Friday. So late Thursday night and the Friday, that's when y'all can break bed, make peace, whatever the case is. I hope that helps. Okay. Yeah, but when it comes to children, yeah, we all gave our parents. I did. That's why I got the spankings too. I told you, because I thought I knew everything. So anyway, this is self-preservation first. I like that. This is December the 3rd of 1982. The sun is in Sagittarius. The moon is in Cancer. So you have a fire-water combination. All right. Passionate on one hand, super sensitive on the other hand. It all depends on what day of the week or how the cosmic weather is flowing in your chart. So your numbers are the 3, 6, and 9, and it indicates your best days are always on a Thursday, followed by a Friday, followed by a Tuesday, more than anything else. So if I was to look at the year you're in, you're in a 5 personal year, a year of change, a year where you're at a turning point. And if I look at the 5 added to the 5th calendar month, it tells me this is a time for you to start something new. So since you are 3, and when I add your 5 to July, which would be, you'll be in a 3 personal month, which matches your birthday, that's when things should open up and expand for you. All right. So that's when you can look for it. And normally 3s are very youthful in nature, youthful in looks, youthful in attitude, which is why they attract younger relationships as well. Okay. And 3s are natural flirts. That's something they got honest. They can't help themselves. Anyway, let me go to this in here. Okay. This is Alien, okay, and she is February the 10th. So she's in a 2 or maybe 11 personal year, because my technique is I haven't done that. Okay. Self-preservation says, thank you, all facts right here. Thank you very much for that. So anyway, with a Leon, it tells me she is an air sign with a fire number. These are elements that mix very, very well together. So that means since she's a number 1 born, but she's not just on a 1, she's born on a 10. And 10, so it's 1 to the 10th power. And that in the tarot deck is called the Wheel of Fortunes, where one's plans are likely to be carried out. All righty. And it tells me because since Aquarius is a masculine sign and 1 is a masculine number, people might feel that you are kind of like over assertive. And then I know you're born at 1:01 a.m. in the morning. So that means your sun is probably somewhere in the first, second, third. It's in the third house. That's where it is. It's in the third house, about midway in the third house, if you look at, which is a house of children, brothers and sisters, things like that. So it may deal with siblings. And yes, you're absolutely right. You have a 3 life path. So for people who may not understand life path, birth path, destiny numbers, I'll say symbolically the month, the day, and the year you're born says you're in the 3rd grade in the school of life. So once you understand that, you know how to act accordingly. Okay. So that's it I see for you. Yeah, this is the year to be patient. Turn on the charm. Okay. People know you can be assertive, can be feisty, things of that nature. But you know what it is about using the tactic to use this year is a lot of charm and sweetness. You know, it's like, you know how when you want something, you're so nice to that person. Like my girls, when they want something from me, they so nice to me, real nice. Okay, I mean they nice to me anyway because they ain't got no choice. But I mean they really turn on the charm when I say "uh-oh" to myself as a dad. But that is what I see. So this year, just be patient. Good year for changing your diet too, your dietary laws. Okay. Um, we listen. Thank you so much for the donation. Much appreciated. Okay. Um, all right. Let me see. I'm going to try to answer some questions. I'll take this one. This is a personality question here. This is Felicia. She's born June the 10th of 77 in Philly at 4:36 p.m. And her husband is born on 5/15/63 in Harlem. Yay for Harlem. That's where I am. We are about to be empty nesters. I don't know what that means. Will we get along when it was first just us? Okay, I guess that means children. Your children move back home. I would imagine, trying to read between the lines. We have very different personalities. Yes, you are different as night and day, numerically speaking. But see, here's the beauty. Once you have the beauty of this science, metaphysically, numerically, cardology wise, you can understand that he has to be as true to himself as you have to be as true to yourself. The one thing I saw that's challenging, first of all, he's a fixed sign. You are a mutable sign. Fixed means they're set in their ways. Okay. That's the first thing. Not only that, but he's a Taurus. You know, Taurus is the bull. And you know, they said the bull will, wreck a China shop. But not only that, he's born on the 15th of the month, and 1 + 5 is 6, and 6 rules the sign of Taurus. So he's a double Taurian nature, which means he can be very stubborn. I noticed the challenges may be at times, Felicia, that 6 men, and yes, 6 women too, ain't gonna front, but 6 men especially can be what is called, women would describe as controlling, have a lot of control issues. Okay. And what I'm saying is that if that is the case, that may be some of the challenges you may have. So, yes, y'all are different as night and day. Ones are very assertive, very original, very inventive, very daring. Sixes are just the opposite, conservative, like to stay within the rules of the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm jokingly going to say he could have been a Republican easily. You know what I'm saying? Taking that thing about the conservative side, like to save for a rainy day. All right. Because I jokingly say about a 6, they can be so stingy they'll squeeze the brown off the penny. But if it's something they want, they're going to get it. Okay. So these are some of the things that may affect him. And because he's a fixed sign and he's kind of under fixed numbers, that means he is set in his ways. Where you are mutable, that means change. And the only thing that's constant in life is change. And then you're one, which means always kind of new things, new ventures, new attitudes, new let's do this and let's go new do that. So yeah, so at least you know y'all are very different personalities. And so hopefully that'll clear the air. By the way, your numbers are the 1, 4, and 5. His numbers are the 6, 3, and 9. Y'all even got totally different set of numbers. So what you do is this: you say nesters, about to be empty nesters. I guess that means the kids are going and getting out of the house. But if you look at the children you have, the one that has numbers of a 3, 6, or 9, like your husband, they'll probably favor him, or she will favor him. Or if one of your children have numbers that are more in line with the 1, 4, and 5, more than likely he or she will favor you. This is how I can tell which child looks like which parent. Okay, this stuff is awesome. That's why I'm teaching this course of how to make this a career. You can. As long as human beings walk the earth, you'll never be unemployed. That's all I can tell you. And I've been in situations where jobs have folded and I'm still above ground. So I'm very, very fortunate. Okay. Um, Thanks, Co-Color. She said she got her shungite crystal. The guy at the metaphysical store says the shungite crystal to you. Shungite is one of the most. It's called the. It's called the miracle stone. Actually, it's billions of years old. It's the majority of the shungite stones is found, believe it or not, in Russia. Russia is ruled by the sign of Aquarius, symbolically known as the bear in world history. But that's another thing for another time. The point is that the term shungite came from the city that's found near called Shunga, Shunga. That's where that term came from, shungite. And it's also used to not only block all kind of negative activities, but it blocks these rays that are emitted from your cell phones, your computers, your TVs, and it also cleans your water. So for those of you who have water and keep it out, just put some shungite stones in the water, and it'll help purify it. Or those of you like I wear shungites. These are shungite bracelets right here. Okay. Um, Only because I'm in front of a TV or computer, whatever the case is. And I don't want to be glowing in the dark in about 10 or 15 years. Okay. I really, really don't. So what I'm going to do is keep the EMFs or EMF rays or whatever they call that to a minimum. EMF, something frequencies. I know F means frequencies. Anyway, so that's good. Thank you. 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 Okay. Let's see. Let me go back a second. This is fun for me. Okay. I'm going to try to get everybody. Uh, Thanks so much for the donation, Aquarius. Much appreciated. And my buddy King Simon, he's got some things coming up too. So I'm gonna be having him on also talking about that. Okay, this is Dural. I'm hoping 88. Can you tell me the significance of 52588? Well, first of all, you're an air sign with an air number. What does that mean? Air is all over the place. So if you got anybody in your space, they want to put you in a lockdown mode by saying, at first it's cute, honey, where you going? When you coming back? What are you going to do? Etc. Etc. But if it is something whereby every single day, every single week, every single month after month, it's not going to last long. And this would explain why you don't like nobody micromanaging, looking over your shoulders. Did you do that? And it's so interesting. You're born on the 5th and you donated 5, which I thank you very, very much for that. So your significant numbers are the 5, 4, and 1. Your best days are always, without exceptions, Wednesday's always first, followed by Sunday and then on a day Monday. And this particular year, it's your year to fall in love, fall out of love, make some adjustments because you are in a 6th personal year. And it's also the cycle of compensation. Here's what I mean. Let's say about a year, 2 years prior, you were in an arrangement or an agreement, and the party or parties did not keep their commitment to you. And you kind of came up on the short end of that stick. Okay. That means this year, in some way, shape, or form, the law of compensation is going to kick in and make up for it. But this is a good time to get yourself in order, get yourself in good shape, to have a kind of a plan, go back to school, spruce up your home, and wear the color blue, because each number is ruled by a number, and 6 rules the color blue, and that would be the best for you. All righty. Again, your numbers are the 5, 4, and 1, and Wednesday, Sunday, and Mondays are always your best days. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, you're in a 6 per year, so that means you got to make some adjustments, buddy. Okay. Okay, this person is many blessings. What you do, teaching numerology possible and most necessary. Do you have anything for me? 7-1. Now, look at this birthday. The first thing I see is all those ones pop out. So I know this person don't take orders well or is designed to take orders well. They're even born in the year of 19, which is a 1. They're born under the number 1. So that means over and above their early life, which is in their first cycle, the formative years, their childhood years of being reserved and shy and laid back and accused by other women of thinking she's bossy, who she thinks she is. Once she found her niche, that tells me that you, from this birthday, you would have made an excellent manager, supervisor, director, head of a department, entrepreneur, something, or have some authority where, or be in some position where you have authority. Let's say you didn't have these job titles. Well, if you're working, everybody got enough sense to leave you alone. Don't be going to messing with her. Now, you don't want to get your feelings hurt. Y'all got to watch how y'all deal with this person. It's like that. But ones are very innovative. And this year you're in a 7 personal year, which means this is a year to kind of not chase, but magnetize, to think about what you want. And then, as they say, once you think about it hard enough and see it in the mental screen of your mind, then the rule is, as they say, the elders used to say, then you let go and let God, because 7's God's number. So this is when people go back to church again. They get readings. They begin to find a sense of a higher purpose to go beyond the 5 senses. They're seeking something that goes deeper. They go deeper down the rabbit hole of life, where they're looking for deeper answers to the questions that may have eluded them, questions that they're in search of, or whatever the case is, like that. And they have the most interesting dreams too. And since 7 is one of your numbers, this is a very important year for you to do just that. Your key numbers are the 1, 4, 2, and 7. You have 4 numbers. You're the first one with 4 numbers. Everybody else got 3 numbers. Well, you do. So anyway, it also tells me you wear glasses, or you should wear glasses, because your left eye is a little bit weaker than your right eye. Anyway, that's a whole nother thing. Anyway, thank you for that. I hope you found that interesting. Okay. Now, don't forget, if you all have some questions about how these things work or whatever the case is, like that, that would be very, very good. Okay, let me see something here. Okay. Kobe Green. I saw Kobe before. Hey, Kobe. They are Aquarius 2 person. So their numbers are now, just as the July 1st, her numbers was the 1, 4, 2, 7. His numbers are the 2, 7, 4, and 1. So that meant if you met this sister, not that I'm trying to play matchmakers, Kobe, you two would hit it off great. And this is all about finding the soulmate. What do I mean? Once you know your months, see, the months is what explains the physical connections we have with each other. Why did you can meet a person for the first time and feel very comfortable right at home with them? They ain't say nothing to you, but you feel that a connection. Then there's another stranger you meet, don't know them, they ain't say nothing to you, but you just ain't feeling them. We all have an aura field. And so the months would explain it. Her months are your months. Her dates are your dates. Her numbers are your numbers. So therefore, you would have a natural, what they call simpatico with this person, okay? You would find it very easy to get along with her. And she likewise would find it very easy to get along with you. Although Aquarians are very interesting, though, I will say that. But over and above that, it indicates that this year is about changing residence or rearranging where you live, changing or rearranging where you live on a job, and changing, rearranging, or mending fences with relationships with people that you have too. And it also indicates that dance and theater, design, computers, technology, engineering, and mechanical, mathematical sciences will always be very important to you too. And it probably tells me you like to collect things, and you probably, as they used to say, cut a mean rug on the dance floor when you was coming up as a kid. All right. So anyway, those are your numbers. Thanks, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Yes, and this again is registered for her cardiology class, please. I'm just seeing some of these things. Okay. Again, about sponsoring the show, just go to star8llc@gmail, and I or somebody will get back to you. Now, this is in Linton, 1, September the 25th, born at 6:35 a.m. So that means you are coming on your. So if you're 6, that means you're in the 12th house. That's exactly where your sun is located. It's in the 12th house, which is the house of the Pisces. Okay. But anyway, regardless of that, you are an air sign with a water number. Okay. And that means, on one hand, reasons, logic, the powers, deductions, and yet at the same time, 7 brings about the sense of intuitions, feelings, hunches, and an inner knowing about things. People under your constellation, young lady, are very independent. They're very selective. I notice about 7s that men don't get who are 7s. 7s, because we are very reserved by nature. Sevens because we like to be our own best company. As a rule, we'll find that they like to be by themselves. But I found that number 7, you women, I ain't talking about it in a negative way, but I noticed that women will think other women who are 7s think they're stuck up, or who does she think she is? And what's happening is 7s are just kind of laid back. They're kind of discreet. They kind of like, I ain't trying to make no noise up in here. They more laid back. And if you understand that, that's what makes the difference. And please, so your numbers are the 7, 2, and 6, and Mondays and Fridays are your best days, okay? And so for different results, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Please do that. And I like that. Okay. So anyway, let me go back a bit. Let me go back. This person is just the opposite from the one that's born January the 29th. Okay. 29 people are very sensitive and emotional and romantic. This person is fire. They're air and fire. It adds up to a 9. The compound number 27 is called the royal scepter, one who succeeds as their result of their productive intellect. So if a guy's just dealing with this lady on because of looks, supposedly, she's got more than that than what people would see on the surface. Behind that, a forceful mind. And 9s are very frank. 9s are very, very independent. Even the month she's born tells me she's probably out on her own between her 19th and 22nd birthday. Always feisty, as some people might say. That's because she ain't gonna bite her tongue with nothing. And this year she's in a 9 personal year too. And then see, next year she'll be in a 1, but next year 2025 will be a 9. So I would say she would be on a roll like she was in 2015 and the 2016, like she was back in 2006 and the 2007, as it will be this year of 2024 and the 2025. All right. And she definitely tends to attract men in uniform too, which is also none of my business. But anyway, I want to thank everybody. Hold on. Let me do a couple of more. This is Annie Fredericks, November 6th. Now is a good time to start a business. I would say yes, it is. Why? Because you're in a 1 personal year. Yes, you are. In other words, if I took November the 9th and added to 2024, it would come up to a 1. Anytime one needs to step out on faith to start. In fact, if you look at the year you were born in the year of the 1 anyway. Okay, because 1969 adds to 19, and 1 plus 9 is 10, which is a 1. So then you're in a 1 personal year, and then see, 1s and 9s are your leadership numbers. But this time of the year is normally very challenging for Scorpios, not just you, Annie, all Scorpios, because every zodiac sign has a high and low. And astrologically, your opposition sign, your opposition month to your sign of Scorpio is the month we're in right now, which is a sign of Taurus. Not that you can't get through it, but we all have peaks and valleys and things like that. And if you understand that, that's what makes a difference. All righty. So your lucky numbers, by the way, are the 9, 6, and 3. And your best days are always on a Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And you tend to attract men in uniform too. That has been my experience. And here we have a water sign. Whoops. Where's this person? Where did I see them at? Things are going by so fast. Okay. Oh, this is different results that say get them thumbs up. Thank you. She's a water sign with a water number. Very, very particular. Very, very analytical. Sometimes people think she's critical, but I wouldn't call her critical per se, as so much as she knows how to spot flaws. She knows how to spot defects, and she knows how to speak on it too. And I think that might be some of the things that might turn some people off. They don't mean to. And she definitely a strong personality. And women didn't show her much love coming up because, again, with 7 women, the attitude from other women is you think you better than me and all this other stuff. And don't be a cutie too, because that ain't going to help your situation at all. And so it's kind of like that. And if you understand that, that's what will make the difference. But your numbers are the 7, 2, and 6. And in fact, the psychic and intuitive numbers are the 2, 6, and 7, and you possess all 3. So if you learn how to tap in and really pick up on what your heart and your feelings and emotions and your gut is telling you, almost always you be correct. So I know in relationship where the guy says, you don't know what you're talking about, so and so, I wouldn't play you. I mean, they could play you, but they're going to get played in the end. I definitely wouldn't do that to you. And you can be very sarcastic too, which is another thing. Anyway, anyway, that's it. Um, let me say this in closing. Every single one of you are divinely special, and don't you ever forget it. There is, again, my attitude is because there are billions of sperm going after one egg, and you became the result of that billions of sperms that met with that one egg, and you are the end result of it. You cannot tell me you're not special. It is your attitude of how you look at yourself. So nowadays, in this culture, anyway, in this society or this West, they got us looking at this star, looking at that celebrity, looking at that sports figure, as against looking at yourself and seeing what you bring to the table of life. That's what's important. So yes, they say bring to the table. What do you bring to your own table? What do you bring to you? You are divinely special. That's why I'm teaching this course on how to do this, how you can make this a career, how you can learn about yourself. And that's why I want you to download my Apple Star 8 too. Those things are very, very important. So, and I mean it sincerely. And let me tell you, you can run from people, but you cannot run from yourself. And once I figured that out, that was the secret sauce. I've been happy ever since then. But we want to be somebody else, and we can't be. I want to be taller. God says, man, you're going to be short, and that's it. So what you going to do? So it's attitude. So you don't have this and you don't have that. But look at what you do have and make the most of what you do have. Okay. So anyway, that's all I'll say. So before I wrap this up, let me go back to my banners and my brands and tell you that today's shows has been brought to you by Jazz Aphrodite. Please sign up for a cardology course this coming Saturday. There's her website right there. Go to jazzaphrodite.com and sign up right away. Also, Manifest on Purpose, Miss Kimberly. This was on vibrations. This was a very intriguing. I mean, I stopped exercising just to listen to it. It was just, she tells things like Iyanla Van Zandt in a story form, but in that story form, there's a universal principle that goes with it. So I would encourage you all to give a listen when you get an opportunity. I got to thank Nicole out in Nicholas, Brooklyn, who has probably one of the most successful all-around stores in the world, whether it's incense, crystals, oils. I mean, it's, I can't name it. I but tell you this: you cannot go in that store and just get one thing. I defy anybody to go in that store and think they're gonna buy one thing. You got to put some blinders on and just go in there with a cane, ask for what you want, pay it, and walk out. That's about the only way you'll pull it off. Okay, but that's the place to go. It's at 1396 Fulton Street in Brooklyn. And also my newest sponsor, Brother Riza Islam, his intellectualpower.net. I've been taking it, and I ain't trying to endorse, but I'm just telling you, the proof is in the pudding. All you got to do is scan the QR code right there. And when you order your supplements, make sure you put in numbers so you can get a 10% discount. Okay. So I'm leaving it there a second so you can get your phone or take a screenshot later on. Just put your phone there and order the supplement and save yourself some money. Again, heavy metals, glutens, wheat, dairy, soy, yeast, sugar, artificial flavors, sweeteners, fillers, preservatives, added colors, and/or animal byproduct. The brother is serious, and you got to go to his website to see all the things that goes into it. And even when you open up the jar, the tablets smell totally different. I can't explain. It would be an experience you have to. But he is my new sponsor, and I bless him. I thank him very, very much. And also, last but not least, Yana Woodhouse. I call her Yana. They call her Dr. Woodhouse. And when she talks about money and how it works, she got me on the right path. I look at money totally, totally different. I'm very aware of getting more bangs for my bucks. And as much as things are costing nowadays, I think it would be better for you too. And this, by the way, is her schedule. All righty. This is her schedule. So it starts this Saturday. It's a 5-part series or 5 things she's featuring. And so please tune in and look to that. And by the way, my guest this Wednesday is Lo, who is an entrepreneur, bless her soul. We're going to be talking. Next Monday is Nina Diamond. Also, please sign up for the free monthly newsletter. And you can either read it or hear the oral version on YouTube. Okay, right there. And when you go to YouTube, you click on it, and all you just do is go to your respective sign. Here I got Aries and Taurus. So you got a really a twofer. One, you can read the narrative of how I wrote it, And two, you can hear the narrative of how I spoke it. Two different forms all together. Reading and writing is not the same. And you'll get a good example if you tune in. So that is Miss Kimberly and I do that every month. And again, lastly, for those of you who like to learn this as a living, and you can do this, you can do this. I got the proof, I've got the credentials, I've got the background, I've got the experience. But if you're willing to work, majority of it will be easy because I've been through all the hard knocks of it, learning in the streets, loving to read. So I can save you a lot of wear and tear. But anytime you've ever out of work, guess who can make some money? All you got to do is find a psychic fair or start your own business. Well, that's all what this is about for certifications, okay? And for those that are interested, you go right here to learning the art of numerology as a career, and you write to a star8llc@gmail.com, a star8llc@gmail. Okay. And finally, one minute, last thing. We had some challenges with iOS, that is iPhone users. And I know because I was on it and I'm saying, what in the world is going on? People are not going to like this because I didn't. But a lot of that has been resolved, thankfully. So for those of you, please feel free. Any questions you may have when you download your A Star 8 app on your phone is write to a star8llc@gmail. I will pass it along immediately to my developer who will immediately, because they show me when they respond back to the persons who have the site. So anyway, I thank you very much. I guess that's it. Listen, all of you have a nice day. I pressed the wrong button, which is why I was late. And trust me, I learned the button not to push next time. Okay. So I want all of you to have a great day. God bless. And I'll see you in a couple of days. Bye.